Hello, and welcome to Magic Myths and Mayhem.
You're getting closer.
TTRPG podcast with mostly accurate rules and inconsistent character voices. I'm Alex Ocean Jam, and with me are Ron, Mark, and Joe, my wonderful players. How is everyone doing today? I did that intro kind of like I was bidding out at an auction. Let it be known, this session has started 50 minutes late.
And who do we have to blame?
But what that does mean is we have a lot of pre-rambles in which we talk about Marvel, we talk about Marvel, we talk about
Daggerheart.
Marvel, a little bit of Daggerheart, some upcoming stuff. So if you want to listen to the pre-ramble, Patreon is $1 a month.
We discussed Old Bay seasoning.
We did. Patreon is $1 a month.
It is.
That's all I'm asking for. And you get lots of extra content. And you get the episodes a week earlier.
There's also the possibility that there might be all sorts of not safe for work.
There won't be. But it does mean if you join the Patreon, if you listen to this and join the Patreon, that means you could listen to this week's episode and then immediately next week's episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you
It's
go.
released a week early.
But
Anyway.
can you listen to the one after that as well?
Yes, we have to wait a week.
Okay, you know what? That's fair.
How is everyone doing?
Pretty good. Apparently I should just use the Windows Media Player all the time because it sounds a lot better than Spotify ever fucking does.
At least in this format. Yeah, it's very warm, so hopefully if windows are open and things, we don't hear too much background noise. If you do, yeah, you'll just have to deal with it. But none of that is important because something is missing from this here recording. And I think only Joe's going to be able to tell us what it is.
Brains.
Well, Brains is part of it because there's an intellectual endeavor being undertaken by our friend and comrade Purdy. That's why she's not here.
Who?
Purdy.
Who's? I don't know anyone by that name.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
It's been 82 years.
I genuinely thought for a moment that maybe I had mispronounced it or gotten her name wrong.
Successfully gaslit Joe into thinking that's a name he's been saying for 6 years.
I am powerful.
Well, no, so Purdy isn't here because she has undertaken a new endeavor. I would say it's pretty fair to say that the four of us are big Lord of the Rings fans. We like those movies, yes?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
And
say
Purdy
big.
has never expressed that much interest in Lord of the Rings, right?
Not usually, no.
Well,
She was persuaded to watch them. So she was sat down, got her cheese that she's not allowed to have, but she has anyway, and sat down and didn't get very far in before she was struck by inspiration from Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring. So, in conjunction with playing a Drake Warden Ranger, raising her own dragon, and Gandalf's fireworks, I said she didn't get very far into the movie before getting distracted. She is now learning how to make her own fireworks so that she can make a pumpkin spice latte firework that explodes and creates a large pumpkin spice latte firework in the sky.
That sounds like a noble cause.
I could just do that for her. It's like a night's work.
Yeah, but in real life.
Yeah, in real life.
Never mind. Can't help with that.
Purdy's location, where she lives, you can bleep it out here, Alex, if you would like.
Oh yeah, it's
currently
over
a
on
no-fly zone,
over on
and the military
Street,
are
right?
moving in.
What?
You were both talking at the same time.
Thank you.
What?
So that's where Purdy is.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. No comments. We have a recap.
That's because not only is it true, it's plausible.
It is. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
There you go. Mark has every confidence that she'll be successful as well.
I do. Absolutely. I do.
Oh, so this recap. You know what? I'll say what I was going to say after. Listen to the recap.
Yeah. Don't say anything.
I'll listen to it. I'm going to mute myself.
Well. Look at what we have here. Am I supposed to be intimidated?
We aren't here with thoughts of violence.
We just want to talk. Oh, I see. A meeting of peace, perhaps.
You could call it that. We need you to stop.
Straight to it, then. Stop what, exactly?
This obsession with mortals. We both know it's going to go too far.
What an interesting word, obsession. Perhaps what seems like obsession to you is just a mere interest to me. I am the all-seeing watcher, after all. Wasn't that what you named me?
Watching is one thing, but you're not just watching. You're changing reality and taking the powers of other gods to do so.
And
do you have zero remorse for your actions?
why should I feel remorse for culling the weak? You set these rules and laws on our people without even asking. There was no vote. There was no choice of leader. I didn't accept your leadership when you claimed it so many millennia ago, and I certainly don't plan to bow down to you anytime soon. Your worries about the fabric of this world, your insignificant thoughts on how I should be acting, they don't affect me. I don't care for your order. I shall do as I please, and you have no power to stop me.
I figured you'd say something like that. A shame, really. Can I just ask, why are you so focused on this group? I mean, what do? Go in a catacomb, clear out the mess of some other adventuring group, and then steal a bunch of mortal artifacts? Oh, and let's not forget the super interesting next section where they got on a boat and travelled to a new city. Why are you so focused on them?
Why? In reality, it's so simple. Their lives are so meaningless that I can't help but find myself infatuated with their obsession with survival, their commitment to causes that mean nothing, and paths that lead nowhere. And on top of that, the same reason I've been saying for the last century. I'm bored.
You do realize this is an act of treason, right?
Only by your rules.
Regardless, this will come back on you.
And I welcome it. And as an act of good faith, I'll let you both live. For now.
I don't think you'd find it too easy to take.
No, he could. He most certainly could.
Oh, yes.
You good, buddy?
Oh, I'm fine.
Did we hurt you?
He sounds like I thought he sounded like quite a jolly chap. When he was
What I was going to say
laughing.
is, Dad, I'm going to need to play. There's been like 2 or 3 of them. You've missed a few of them, which fill in a couple gaps for you.
They're not good. Well, they're good, but they're not good to
I
hear.
tell you what, that one I felt almost got slightly cinematic. I'm not going to lie to you.
It was very impressive, actually. I did enjoy it.
Yeah. And I put a recap kind of in there anyway.
Kinda.
What happens is the ones where the recap isn't going to be much, which is you walked around the catacombs and found some things. Though the episode was interesting, I can't just be like, oh, the recap is you walked around. I thought I might as well add some stuff to some flair. So anything like that. So you may remember you arrived in the town of Otu last time. Would you like me to reread the description of Otu, or do you remember it perfectly?
I remember it as well as I remember every single location we've ever been to. As in, not at all.
I remember that there's a town on a bridge.
Yes, bridge. There's a bridgehead market.
It's a market on a bridge.
It's a fishing town. There's a Wren's tavern, and the Salted Leech, which is quite seedy. I do make notes.
Someone has to.
Oh, it could be a leech. I can't read my own writing.
Yes, so I will surmise then. Otu sits on the north bank. It is the fisherman's hut. It is more than just fisherman's huts. It is a fishing town, but it has more to it. There is a big village of stone and wood, but you were remembering correctly that the stone bridge, which is called the Stenagard Bridge, reaches over the River Farry, and on top of it there is the Bridgehead Market, which also stretches into the town a little bit. The other thing was there is a renowned blacksmith by the name of Harps, where lots of adventurous traders, far off, rich people and lords and stuff come over to get works from them. And I went through that there's a few taverns and things like that. Mostly there's the forge, the market, a couple taverns, the hall, and then a couple ships that a couple shops that you'd get to. But you had not even stepped into the city yet. You have but put the ship in port. You did all the rolls, and it is up to you.
I seem to remember we docked beautifully because I was a Goliath and I could see what I was doing.
You did quite a good job. I don't remember. It was a 24-hour journey, but you did it in 2 days, so it will be quite late. The suns would have gone down. It would be getting fairly chilly. I'd say you'd be looking at like a 7 degrees centigrade. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, I'm afraid.
46.
There you go. So it's up to you. You can see from where you are the market not completely closed, but there are shops and stalls that have closed. So you could go over, but obviously it's not in its thriving open state as it would be in the middle of the day. The 2 taverns, Pesto, you know the Wren's Nest. You probably wouldn't have gone into the Salted Leech.
Probably not back then, no.
Yeah, it's a locals place, so you'd be aware of it, but you wouldn't really know what's inside of it. But you know that these places, you know, there is food, there is drink. This is not a teetotal town, and that's about all you have for now. It's up to you. What would you like to do? You, of course, also could explore if you wished to.
Because Explorify, it's at times like this, I think it's a shame I'm not an evil character, because I would just go break into the blacksmith place, sell a lot of really good swords, maybe kill the blacksmith.
Instead, you can trick him into giving it to you.
Yeah, shame we're not like pirates and stuff.
You have to remind me, was there any particular reason we were going here, or is this is just a stopping point?
This is a stop off. It's a way through. You're on your way to Moonhaven, which is another couple of days travel upriver. So it's just a nice place to stop off, get some food that isn't just, you know, dried food that's in your storage, and just have a bit of a break.
Yeah.
You know, the rooms that you stay in, you've been staying in for a long time, so you may consider nicer, larger rooms with beds that aren't hammocks. Although, to be fair, a lot of the beds you've put in there aren't hammocks, but...
Yeah, I think only mine is a hammock.
Yeah, but they're smaller. They're smaller rooms. You're a bit, more stuffed up. And, like, it could be nicer, but then at the same time, it's money spent. So it's up to you.
Well, chaps, do you want to go ashore and have a drink in one of the taverns? It's been a tough couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, there's the one that I'm used to, which is the Wren's Nest, but then there's also the Salted Leech, which may be more our vibe.
My answer to that is always no, because I can't drink anything.
Oh, but you can join in the convivialities there, can't you?
I mean, I suppose we could take a little bit of shore leave, but, like, are we just going just because, or do you want to, like, look at stuff?
Well, we do want to look at stuff, but it sounds like most of the it's quite late, most of the shops to be closed. I was thinking perhaps go into a tavern, have a few drinks, and relax, chat with a few of the friendly locals, and then tomorrow morning pop to the shops, restock the ship, and head off towards Moonhaven.
All right.
Unless some hooded stranger comes up to us in the tavern and we end up being sidetracked.
Well, since you've invited the two of us, I assume that we're temporarily deputising Niffy as bosun, so that I may go ashore.
Oh, Nunu can come with us if she wishes.
But then we'd be leaving the ship unprotected.
You just hear, like, a voice from down below that's just like...
So shall we take Pumpkin instead?
Oh yeah, I reckon we could probably get a pretty good deal for him.
No, I think we should. I think we should probably leave Pumpkin with Noonan. I'll be honest.
But then we're just down a man, a woman, half elf.
If he's not like her skills don't lie in the martial domain, so I think we'd be alright if we came to like a scrap or something.
What if it becomes more than that? It always becomes more than that. Whenever we stop off, some shit happens.
Oh, well, then we'll probably just have to like kill a bunch of people.
I think we should just
relatively quickly.
I think we should just go and have a nice, quiet drink and try not to kill anybody. Ozzy, I'm looking at you.
Oh no, I won't kill anyone unless like there's a threat to threat to your lives.
Well, that's jolly kind of you, and I do appreciate it.
I think it's relatively slim, the chances of my existence coming to end in some random bar fight, but you two are quite fragile with all of your fleshy bits, so...
I'm very hardy.
That's good to hear.
Yes.
Let's go talk about the fight of ale.
You are exceptionally hardy. You were not recently blown over by a gust of wind.
I don't actually remember Seeing that old chap,
The
I
wind was
don't,
bigger than me.
I don't recall any wind at all, particularly.
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
that was before
The
you
captain
had
says it
rejoined
didn't
us.
happen.
That's not what he said. He says he doesn't remember. It's because he wasn't there.
I see.
He
Probably
was,
when I was
off on his
following the-
quest for a ghostly woman that he's not really talked about since.
I like to think that he was with us in spirit.
I was certainly there in spirit, at least in the sense that I wasn't there. But in that sense, I was definitely there.
But you just said that it didn't happen.
I
That's
said I
not
didn't
what he
remember
said
it.
at all. He said that he couldn't remember.
As you're standing on the deck, arguing about what you do and don't remember, as if mocking you, Pesto, a spatter of rain starts coming from the sky as grey clouds loom in the distance.
Okay, that's a pretty good reason to go into town.
Right, come on, chaps. No, we're going into town. Look after the ship. Give us a shout if anything happens. Let's head to the... Which one would you suggest? You've been here before.
Well, are we looking for an interesting time or a relaxing time?
Well, I'm always interested in interesting times.
All right, the Salted Leech it is.
The captain did say he'd prefer for us not to kill anyone.
Well, yes, absolutely. Prefer not to.
But it would definitely be more interesting if we had to, wouldn't it?
Well, we need contacts, don't we? We need contacts. In our line of work, we need contacts. So let's...
Yes.
But no getting into arguments, all right?
To the local place.
Or are we taking the pale drone with us in the bag?
Yeah, always.
Right.
Just in case. Right, lead the way.
All right.
You wander off in town as the rain starts to get harder and harder. By the time you get to the Salted Leech, you're almost soaked through as the heavens have opened. Thunder rolling in the far distance. Ice cold, well, I mean, I guess Ozzy wouldn't really feel it, but ice cold through to the bone. And only one of you has bones. Regardless, Pesto, you're wet and you're cold.
We've all got bones, right?
But
I
I
are
have
bones,
fur.
yeah. Your bones don't have
Yeah,
bones.
they still have bones. They still have bones.
I will air dry myself as soon as I get inside. Yeah.
From the outside, the Salted Leech leans ever so slightly towards the street, as if it's tired of standing. The moss-ridden sign hangs crookedly over the door, etched with a bloated leech curled around a cracked mug, and rotten barrels and crusted tankards litter the porch, with the windows to the sides clouded by soot and old grease. As you step in, the interior stinks of old beer, damp wood, and sweat, and the air is thick enough to chew. The stone floor gives way to warped wooden boards, sticky underfoot, housing a central room dimly lit by greasy lanterns and an overworked fireplace tucked to the left of the entrance, where a pair of half-burned logs flicker pitifully, glowing onto an old and dirty bear rug on the floor. The room is scattered, with long, mismatched tables and half-broken chairs, some permanently skewed, others held together with rope and spite. Many of the tables are cluttered with crusty plates and the leftovers of meals long gone cold, the two long tables put together in front of the fire being the unofficial turf of the regulars, and God's help the travellers who sit there uninvited. In the back right-hand corner, the bar area is a mess of cracked bottles, poorly tapped barrels, and an assortment of tools, mugs, and flotsam, and behind the bar a single wide-eyed barkeep oversees the chaos with a wary eye and a rusty club hidden under the counter. There's a rough door behind them leading into the kitchen, where a tangle of old crates, broken shelves, and suspicious meats await their slow roasting. And to the left, a creaking staircase ascends towards the upper floor, supposedly housing the rooms for rent, though most locals know better than to sleep here unless they've got nothing to lose. Several crates are stacked haphazardly under the stairs, hiding who knows what. As you step in, the regular table, as I called it, two tables stacked sort of long way, so it's just one even longer table, surrounded by big, gruff... it's like 6 really big, gruff people, and then just like one weird... Then one like weirdly not so big and gruff, who is probably more intimidating in that situation, who all of them just like... It's not a, you know, a classic Western film where the music stops and they all stare at you, but they definitely look up with like a very curious eye, but don't make any kind of comment or move towards you. They sort of let you do your thing.
See? Interesting.
I will tap my hat to them and head over towards the bar.
This is very clearly a front, says pointing. That very clearly is the back. And those very clearly are the sides.
Thank you, Ozzy. I can always rely on you for that piece of information, that critical piece of information when we arrive somewhere. Thank you.
Just keeping an eye on the environment, Captain.
Yeah, very, very kind indeed.
The code that Ozzy's established. Just, if I do this, it means it's a front. But the rest of this will throw it off the trail.
They'll go, huh? And then you'll say the rest, and they'll go, oh, he's an idiot.
Oh, right.
Do you
right.
go to the bar, or are you going to find a chair first?
I head over to the bar, I think.
You head over to the bar, and the rather wiry-looking barkeep watches you the entire way over. As you get closer, you notice that one of the eyes is most certainly not real. It's like a wooden-ish replacement. Seen better days. It's mostly noted by the point that one of the eyes is following you and the other one is not. And as you walk over, he goes, "You all right?"
Good day, barkeep. Sorry, I don't know your name, but we're weary travellers here to have a little drink in your wonderful establishment. So, Ozzy, did you want to try and drink something, or are you just gonna anything else we can get for you instead?
I'll just spill it, Captain. I appreciate you wanting to include me, but it's fine.
Very well. Okay, Pesto.
I'll take whatever's on tap.
2 ales, please.
All right. Just reaches underneath the bar, gets 2 big steins. They're slightly mismatched. Slams them down, fills them up, puts it over and says, 5 silver.
Pesto, you're the local knowledgeable person. Isn't that rather a lot for 2 ales?
Is it?
No.
Is it not?
Mhm.
I thought ales were coppers.
No.
Okay, fine. I'm not keeping up with inflation, obviously.
Everything costs a lot everywhere.
Inflation has gotten really bad, Captain.
Thank you, Barkeep. One for yourself.
No.
Oh, you don't want to drink your own ale. Mildly worried. All right. Here's 5 silver.
Yeah, you hand over the money, just almost immediately just ignores you and goes back to other things around the bar, clearing up vaguely. Or should I say, moving the mess from one location to another.
They're hiding something.
Cheers, chaps. Of course they're hiding something. It's a bar.
You wander over. So where you would be standing currently, there would be 3 small circular tables, 2 to the left of you, 1 behind you, 1 even smaller circular table all the way over on the left at the bottom of the stairs, which is kind of just like a 1-person table. Over by the fire, there's this double table that's already been taken up, and there's 2 more longer tables spread out, 1 to your right, 1 to your left, which are currently unoccupied. In fact, everything other than, I would say, 1 of the circular tables is unoccupied, and obviously the long table has the regulars.
So how big are the circular tables? Are they big enough for 3 of us? Or are they too small?
3 or 4, yeah.
Well, go to one of those then.
Yeah, sure. You just wander over to one of those, take a seat. All 3 chairs are like different sizes, different shapes, been obviously mismatched and fixed and whatever. As you sit down, Monty, the back leg of your chair just like cracks straight through a floorboard and you almost fall over.
Bear in mind, I'm a Goliath at the moment.
Yes, exactly.
Quite big.
Since the captain has expressed an interest in this being a more casual, peaceful evening, in an attempt to be more casual, Ozzy will spin the chair around and sit on it backwards.
Yeah, you do so.
Before I sit down, I'm going to test to see where the balance is with the chair legs, and then pull out my immovable knife and just slot it right under the part that's a little too short.
You have it's a fairly wobbly chair, so you just kind of put it in place. It'll hold for at least what is needed. You don't weigh very much. Usually you end up kind of standing on a chair anyway to sort of see over the table. Otherwise, you'd be sitting with your nose on the table.
We would be a fairly odd group at the moment because I'm a Goliath. Pesto is about 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
Ozzy is a skeleton.
I'm a very covered up skeleton, though.
A
That's
Goliath, a raccoon, and a skeleton walk into a bar.
Do you know what? It's very interesting you say that, because as you settle down, you hear a very thin voice that sort of carries from behind you in the darkness over from one of the other circular tables, the only other person in the tavern that isn't the locals. You hear a voice that says, "Not from around here, are you?"
Passing through, dear boy. Let me introduce myself. My name is Monty, and you are.
Well, you turn to see who is talking, and you see a wiry, middle-aged human in a tattered cloak of grey and faded green, with a curious glass eye ticking faintly in his left socket, with a mechanical iris, rotating lazily as it studies your table. He holds a half-drunk tankard in both hands and stands up with an unnervingly alert posture.
How tall is he?
Not particularly tall, 5'6". So really short, 5'6".
Excuse me. You mean normal sized? Okay, I got it.
And you respond. He gives off this wry smile and says, "I don't think my name matters that much."
Not at all, dear boy. Only being friendly. Are you
Yeah.
just passing through as well, then?
No, I'm from round here.
Oh, well. Delightful place you have here.
Are you adventurers? Or should I say, air quotes, adventurers? It's just you have that look about you. Boots too worn, weapons on your sides. Kind of people who walk into things most others run from.
Does he obviously have like a holstered weapon?
No.
Okay.
In fact, it doesn't look like he has any weapons, and
Does he
probably
secretly look like he's holding a weapon?
there could be something in the jacket, but you wouldn't know. But Ozzy, you're not getting any kind of intimidating vibes, at least not from a martial perspective.
It was more just like, if he was going, "You're carrying weapons, this means this about you," and he's got two swords across his back.
We occasionally help people out if they are in trouble.
He walks over to the table and sort of just leans in, puts an arm down on the table. He lowers his voice and says, "Tell me,
Yes.
have you ever heard of a place called the Dark Heart?" The Dark Heart. It's just his accent
Not
makes
the
it sound
Dark
like the Dark Heart, yeah. The Dark Heart.
I don't believe I have, Pesto.
Oh, no, I don't think I've ever heard of something called the Dugout.
I was going to ask if you're hard of hearing, but I forgot you don't have ears.
No, I've got no ears.
Probably not very good at
You're
it.
speaking a bit funny, sorry.
Yeah.
Dark Heart, dear boy. Dark Heart.
Dark Heart.
Well, no, I haven't had one of those in ages.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
wouldn't have thought
believe
so.
I've heard of it. No, I can't say I have. Is this a point of interest around here?
Well, don't worry yourself. Most people won't have heard of it. It's not on any map, not in any record, but it's there, behind doors that shouldn't open, in alleys that don't stay in one place. Step through and you're not in this world anymore. It's a great hall, vast and strange. Market stalls with things you'll never see in a guild quarter. Potions, timepieces, cursed mirrors, angel dust, blood script scrolls. Even the Adventurers Guild can't track you in there. No paldrone can follow, no contracts, no witnesses.
That sounds a jolly interesting place.
Yeah, he stands up, tall, says you could walk in nameless and walk out powerful. Or lost, depending on what you trade.
Oh, that sounds like a terrible place to do business then.
That is true. It sounds like a risky place to go and do business.
We do have a lot to trade, though.
I was thinking the same thing. Stuff which we wouldn't necessarily want to take to an ordinary market. Might be the sort of place we need at the moment. How does one get to this Dark Heart, then?
Well, I do know an entrance, here in O2. But I'm sure you've already worked out I'm not giving away that kind of thing for free.
Yes, I had rather gathered. Elsie, you going to say something?
Oh, I mean, I think that this has turned into a relatively fruitful trip, and I think that we should trust this man implicitly. What are the odds that we'd walk into a bar where there's at least 3 people here, all who have fake eyes of some kind? I think that seems a pretty good omen.
Are you talking about Barkeep having a fake eye?
I mean, and yourself?
Yeah, let's just say the phrase eye for an eye goes pretty far around here.
Yes.
Did you want one like that? We can look into fixing yours up to Does that add any function aside from like the aesthetic choice, or?
He looks over, or looks down at you. He's like, curious one, eh? Maybe I'll tell you once you've done what I want.
I think the ticking might get a bit annoying.
Oh. Well, don't worry about that then. We don't need to know.
Up to you.
I don't know. It could be quite an interesting area to investigate.
Well, I mean, if it exists.
There is that.
But like I said, I think we should trust this man implicitly, so he seems to have a characteristic that I find quite trustworthy.
And that's very praiseworthy of you, Ozzy, absolutely. But a person who refuses to give us our name and refuses to give us any information but wants us to do something for them, is there any particular reason we should trust you in any way at all?
Something you want.
Yes, but how do we know you're actually going to give it to us?
I guess you don't.
Unless you give us some reason to believe that you will, I can't see any reason why we should help you at all.
Oh, don't misunderstand. I can always find someone else to help me.
All right.
I'm not reliant on you.
No, absolutely. I understand that completely.
You'll be hard-pressed to find anyone else who can lead you to the dark art around here.
But if you see from our point of view, Mr. Person in the bar we don't know the name of, we'd never even heard of the dark art until you mentioned it. And now we're saying that the only way we're going to get to this place we've never even heard of is to do something for you first. It's not exactly, how should we put it? It asks a lot on our side from trust and nothing on yours.
Well, since you're setting the premise of this, what do you want?
Excellent question. Do you know, you have me there, sir. I can't think of a way that you could actually...
We could start with your
Short of
name.
showing it. Is there any way you can prove to us, not necessarily show us the entrance, any way you can prove to us this dark art actually exists, other than your own word?
Do you have like a postcard or contact card or something?
No.
Is there any way of anybody who can back you up on this?
Not that I know of around here.
What about those fellas over there at that long table? Would they vouch for you and your trustworthiness?
Probably not.
Oh well, that doesn't speak very highly. I was really rooting for you there.
I have no idea who they are.
Is there anybody you do know who could vouch for you?
It wouldn't be a very well-kept secret if I was telling everyone around here, would it?
No, I meant for you rather than for the dark heart truth. We don't even know that you're just not a confidence trickster, for example.
Could be.
But I tell you what, why don't you tell us what it is you want us to do, and then I'll decide.
Fair enough. I mean, I would have thought it's a pretty simple task for the three of you.
Yeah?
He reaches into his inner pocket. I'm sure Ozzy reaches for the axe and pulls out just a little parchment, puts it down on the table, relatively gently actually, and rolls it out, just holding down the corner with an old plate and like a mug or something. You can see that it is in fact a map of O2's winding streets with a particular building circled. It says, all I want is something returned to me. A small ledger stolen from me not so long ago. I'm not proud of how it ended up where it did, but that book belongs to me. He points down at the circled building and says, this is the restricted and confiscated items repository. It's a local place, but it's used for the surrounding towns as well. Think of it like one big lockbox with a security guard at the front. More like a receptionist. There's an upstairs office, and in there, there'll be information. There's a downstairs storeroom, and in there is my ledger. I'm not asking for you to kill people. I'm not even asking for you to damage things. I just want my ledger.
Me want to ask what's in your ledger that's so important to you that you ask complete strangers to get it for you?
Business.
That's usually what they put in ledgers. It's true.
What do we think, chaps?
I would still feel a bit more comfortable if we had your name.
Names are not something you should just be giving out, especially when you're talking about dark dealings. If you want any name, I can give you something, but it won't be my name.
Well, just something to call you then.
Something we can refer to you as
Why don't you call me the dealer?
the dealer.
The dealer.
Very dark heart of you.
Excellent name. I like it. Yes. You can call me
Monty.
Monty, because I already told you my name. Yes.
Is that the first name is the, or is it like Mr. the Dealer?
He's not the brains of the group, is he?
He literally doesn't have any brains.
I haven't had those in quite a while.
He's very keen, and also very good with that axe.
I believe it.
I mean, I hope I don't need to. Threats obviously are pointless, and violence never solved anything. But I hope you do understand that if you were trying to lead us into anything which would involve us getting injured or whatever, that we would not be happy about that.
In our line of work, threats are everything, and violence is very necessary.
Yes, but I'm trying to politely say that, we will be back to cut your head off.
I understand. Don't think it goes unnoticed that you've got big axes, and listen, I'm not going to say someone as unassuming as this little raccoon fella here is going to be a pacifist. He'd be just as dangerous as the rest, I'm sure.
I hide the giant gauntlet behind my body.
It's bigger than your body.
Is that what you've decided to call it? The pacifist?
Pacifist.
That's pretty good, actually.
So, chaps, in this particular case, I'm not going to make the decision on my own.
What?
What do you think? We could be getting into danger, or on the other hand, we could be getting some very valuable information to help us dispose of certain items that we have knowledge of.
Well, we did come here because you said you wanted to do something interesting, and that does sound pretty interesting.
That is a fair point.
What's security like in this town generally?
Yes, that's a good question.
Not too tight. Very pliable.
Pliable is good.
Like if you were to smash them over the head with a hammer, they be very easy to move.
I guess.
Great.
I meant more influenceable.
Like if I was to hit them over the head with a club.
I like to hold on to my money.
Well, what are the things are we likely to find? Confiscated items like ledgers and stuff. That's one thing, but if there's likely to be, weaponry or explosives or, things of magical dark nature.
I'm going to be real with you. I don't know what's in that place that isn't my ledger, and I don't care. You want to steal things? Steal things.
Sick.
Can I make a suggestion, Captain?
Yes?
Mr. the Dealer here said about this, dark art place. I would suggest that, two suggestions. The first one is that he comes with us to get his ledger, because we don't know what it looks like.
That's my question.
The second thing is that he gets his ledger back once he has safely escorted us into and out of the dark heart, because he said all that stuff about, you might come out and be all fucked up. So I reckon that's a good way of ensuring that he keeps his word. And that seems fair, because then he gets his thing, and then we don't get fucked up.
You have a very articulate way of misunderstanding what I've said. The dark heart won't fuck you up as long as you're sensible.
Yes, that's why we need a guide. I just, I'm generally entrusted with the group's safety, and we shouldn't be relied on in that sense.
So, Mr. Dealer, although perhaps I can see where you are and Ozzy are not talking about exactly the same thing, I think he may have a point. If we were to prove to you we had your ledger, I think it would only be fair for you to at least show us the entrance before taking possession of it. It'll mean nothing to us, so you'll no reason for us to keep it once we know where the entrance to this dark heart is.
Fine.
What about an exit?
I think that'll be in our hands. I don't think I particularly want to go into an area he knows well that we know not at all with him.
All right.
We don't know what would happen. Not that I wish to be unpleasant, Mr. Dealer. I have absolutely no reason to trust you at all.
I'd be more worried if you did trust me.
Righty-ho. So, last question then. You were saying this place on this circle on this map has a guard, or you said a receptionist. What is there that you're not telling us about the security of this place that we need to know?
I don't know about the security. I know there won't be any guards around this time of night, but there's a chance they'll be on patrols around the city. I mean, anyone with any kind of brain cells would assume there's alarms, but I haven't checked it out.
Fair.
Who is it we'll be pissing off?
Yes. Should we get caught?
It's owned by the town.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
This time of the evening, there shouldn't be anyone inside. O2's pretty consistent with its schedule. People clock in, people clock out.
Right. So, final question, I think, before we head off. You said that, if I remember rightly, that your ledger will be downstairs. You're going through the reception area, down some stairs.
No.
No?
Ground floor.
Oh, on the ground floor.
I don't know the layout that well, but I know they've got a secure room with all the items in it, and they've got an office upstairs.
Understood. So, on the ground floor, you go in, reception, somewhere on that ground floor, there's a locked room full of items which they have confiscated, one of which is your ledger, correct?
I would assume.
And how will we recognize your ledger?
It's got a little insignia of a badger on it.
Badger. How big?
Couple inches.
Not the insignia. I'm talking about how big is the ledger.
Oh, average book.
Just a book.
Very tiny book.
Yeah, it's just a tiny little book.
Is it a regular
Finished.
badger or a giant badger?
It's an insignia.
Of a
Badger.
regular badger. Okay.
That's what we'll call you, the Badger.
The badger.
Very well.
Badger? The badger?
The badger. And where would you be?
Mushroom.
Are you going to be remaining in this delightful establishment for the next few hours?
If you're going straight away, then I can wait here.
If you do it, it's going to be this evening because we have to be going tomorrow.
Then I've got no place to go.
Oh, you come with us then?
Yeah.
No.
I thought that was worth a try.
So, chaps, should we try? Should we try and help this chap out and see where it takes us?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure. While we're here, though, do you reckon I should offer that nice barkeep my spare glass eye? Because I've got one spare. I gave the other one to New Zealand. He's just got like a little wooden thing, and it might be quite uncomfortable.
If you want to, I mean, always nice to do good things for people.
I'll listen to your heart, Ozzy. I don't know how that's going to go for you. She might love it. She might hate it.
I
don't have a heart.
Follow your heart.
really wish that I
Yeah.
could.
But you don't have a heart. Ha ha
It
ha.
disintegrated and kind of rotted. And
Can I translate that to listen to your feelings?
Your inner emotions.
Yes.
Your driving soul that's telling you what road to follow.
So, in other words, if you think it'd be a nice thing to do, then why not do it?
so I thought you guys told me that I shouldn't do that as much because you wanted less people to die. And I'm getting quite mixed messages here.
I
Or is
it
this like a one-time only sort of deal because it's glass eye related?
This is more, why don't you decide if that's the thing you really want to do? And in this case, you're quite at liberty to do it. Where that decision comes out with, I'd like to kill everyone in the room, that I'd like to be able to sort of check with you.
We can
first.
vote on it. We can vote on it.
But with the eye thing, yes, if you wanted to do it, that'd be rather nice.
All right, I'll go do that then. All right, I'll be back in a minute.
Have fun.
Let's finish this very interesting ale. What would you say? What would you say? Is that sparrow or rat? What would you say?
Drinking the ale.
Yeah, it tastes like the bubble gum scraped off the bottom of the tables.
Braver than me, as he walks off.
Yeah, that's why we're doing your dirty work.
Monty's going to do that, but not actually drink any ale. Oh yes, very.
Pour over his shoulder.
Yes. Why is it rotting through the floorboards? Okay.
You go over to the bar.
Yeah.
He looks up again. He's like, "Hi."
I couldn't help but notice you've got that wooden eye, and I just so happen to have like a spare glass one that I'm not using at the moment, and I just wondered if you might like it, if it'd be a bit more comfortable for you.
Fuck off.
Oh,
He walks back to the kitchen.
I really thought that would work. Right, okay. Never listen to your impulses again. The captain and everyone was right. Let this be a lesson to you. Right. I suppose I could kill him.
And Ozzy was never nice again.
Oh no!
I could just take it if I wanted to. No, they wanted to vote on that sort of thing, so I'll put it to a vote. Right, I'll head back over. Right, I've got something for us to vote on.
Oh, yes. Carry on.
Just because you floated there.
Yeah.
I would quite like to snatch the wooden eye out of his head now, because he was quite rude.
Why would you want to take it particularly?
Oh, just so that he doesn't have it anymore as like a punishment.
No, wait. What about on our way out of town?
Possibly, but I mean,
Oh well, I just assumed that this might go horribly wrong and we'd be chased out of town and there wouldn't be enough time.
that is a very, very real possibility. I mean, I know he's. Yeah, you got to think about this. This chap has been working behind the bar of a very, how should we put it, low-level bar for a very long time, dealing with some very, very unpleasant people, I've no doubt. So
I don't know. I feel like this bar is like pretty high level. Actually,
Well,
I feel like it would be difficult. Like if you had to run this one, probably harder than running the nicer.
Definitely a hard place to run, but the clientele probably not very nice. You probably have some trust issues. So,
but that's kind of why we're here as well.
Exactly. So cut him a little slack. You know what I'm saying. He obviously has had some bad experiences in the past, like having his eye poked out, and that's given him a bit of trust issues. So let's not make his life any harder than it already is.
I'm happy to burn as many bridges as you want, as long as it's on our way out.
That bridge looks to be stone as he gets out his knife. I was like, right, cut him just a little slack.
No.
I can make his face as slack as you like. There's a very large kind of proof of muscles.
Let's leave the nice barman alone, and we'll go and see if we can't get this ledger back. I'm quite interested to see this dark heart black thing.
I'll help you on the way out of town, Ozzy. I'll be like a distraction or something.
Is that for burning down the stone bridge or for getting the wooden eye?
Both.
Right, let's go. Let's go and what do they say? Case the joint.
I thought we'd left Niffy on the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's our temporary bosun, right?
She's going to case the joint whilst you case the joint. You follow the map out into the further northern reaches of O2, and you spot the building just north of the old administrative square, where the cobbles slope unevenly and the lamps burn just a little dimmer. It's a squat, grey structure of rough-cut stone, 2 stories tall, with a low slate roof and narrow windows, sealed with heavy wrought iron bars. A dull iron plaque is bolted behind. What?
They're hairy?
Heavy.
Correct.
Did I say hairy?
Correct. You were about to. You corrected yourself, but I heard it. It was coming.
There's no reason that they couldn't be hairy. They could have been armed with hair.
I really don't want them to be.
A dull iron plaque is bolted beside the heavy metal door, mostly rusted, but still readable if you get close. Do you get close?
Yeah.
Before we get close, can we see anybody around, like guards in the area or anything like that?
There is nobody around.
Well, in that case, there's no reason not to go and have a look.
It says, O2 Holding and Confiscation Office, Department of Civic Security. And then underneath it says, authorized entry only, magical items must be declared. The place looks long forgotten by most of the town, but not abandoned. The front door has new locks, the brass keyhole looking recently polished, and one of the upstairs windows at the front is cracked open just a sliver, enough to let out a faint flicker of blue light from within. Ivy creeps up most of the walls, seemingly having taken over many years ago, but cut and pruned to be tidy, and beside the front door are 2 planters, in which sit some rather sad-looking wildflowers. Despite this vegetation, and the inevitable foliage that would fall from it, the path to the entrance is swept clean, as if regularly used. And before you think about the upstairs window, it is cracked open within its bars, so it is still not accessible.
Okay.
It's not accessible freely, but we can break those bars, certainly.
You can try to break those bars.
Unless they're magical items.
Chaps. Now,
what?
As you may remember, I am able to fade into another realm.
Yeah, that hasn't really been going great for you lately.
Well, in this particular case, I'm doing it on purpose.
Mm.
So I can fade. We did it once on a ship in a harbour miracle. So I could try the old fade away. Is walk into the building. I'll have 1 minute to find the room. I'll then materialize, find the book that we're looking for, and then teleport out. If it goes wrong...
Before you start making those decisions, that bit on the left, the protrusion on the left...
Yeah.
That isn't a building, that is high walls, as though it's like some kind of enclosed outdoor space.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest is all buildings. So this front section here is like one floor with a roof, and then obviously this section over here is over this bit behind with the higher roof. So it's kind of like a stepped up shape. It's not just two floors of the same shape.
Gotcha. So 50 feet. That means... Would I have enough time? I have enough time to have a good old look around, but I might not be able to find it.
Yeah, it is accessible. All the sides and back are accessible with little alleyways and things.
So, chaps, what I could try doing, I can try doing my little fade away, my little fade into the other realm. Have a wander around, see if I can find the room at least, and if I'm running out of time, just come back out again.
I do have SEAL Team 4 now.
That's good.
I've also got the shifting skeleton key.
That's true.
But I thought maybe first Pesto could check if any of this stuff is like magical.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's an exceedingly good idea, because I don't want to get trapped in there by some alarm going off because I'm wandering around in an ethereal manner.
Okay, give me 10 minutes.
Yeah. You cast Detect Magic.
During those 10 minutes, I was going to say keep an ear out. So I guess I pull someone's ear out from a fold of my armor and hold it up towards the window to see if that is open, to see if I can hear anyone inside.
Sure, roll a perception whilst that 10 minutes is being done.
It was only an 8 on the dice, which makes it a 16.
You hear nothing other than the noises that would come from the ritual casting that Pesto is doing.
No, I can't hear anything. This might be defective. Put it back in the fold.
Pesto, you finish off your Detect Magic, and you can see that the front door has a low-level abjuration magic to it. You can see that the walls of the building have a different, but still more abjurative quality to them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can I use my new goggles to roll Arcana and try to identify exactly which spells we're dealing with for each of those situations?
You can. I'm not going to say like that's obviously going to give you the successful thing every time. If you roll high, you will get potentially more information.
21.
21. Well, let's be logical. The door, most likely, you're thinking it's some kind of detection. Alarm, perhaps. You wouldn't know that for sure, but it makes the most sense. The walls, it could be more of like a magical detection of kinds, but when you look nice and close at it, you're getting the feeling it's more of a reflection, like a protection that stops people from going through the walls.
Okay. All right. I think there's an alarm on the door, and there's something on the walls. I would not go through them.
I wonder if that applies in other planes, though.
I think it would probably hurt quite bad. It seems like fairly powerful magic.
So I could go into my ethereal plane and go through the front door, at least.
You could. I don't know if it would detect you. I think the walls would hurt to try to pass. The door is at least going to make a sound. Or alert somebody.
So unless we can dispel the magic from the door, one of us is going to have to we either give up or we have to find a way around that spell on the door.
Or unlock it by whatever means are acceptable.
Yeah.
True. I mean, you could try your skeleton key. Ozzy.
Yeah, I can do that. If the lock itself isn't magical, then according to Pesto, it should work.
It was the full door, so...
Right. I shall take out the skeleton key, which changes every time I take it out of my pocket and currently looks like...
It currently looks like a rather small key for for a diary, one of those tiny little padlocks.
Alright. Here goes nothing. Which direction are we running in if a loud alarm goes off? Or if people arrive and we have to kill them and then run?
If we have to run for it, just scatter. We don't have them chasing us as a group, and then we'll meet back at the ship.
Alright.
You put the key into the lock, and it, though the key is way too small for this lock, seems to fit very comfortably. Do you confidently turn and try to unlock the lock?
Yes, with full belief that it will work with its skeleton powers.
You rotate it, and you hear a clunk from the door.
Sounds open.
I shall attempt to open the door and remove the key.
The door opens.
Did the key come out?
The key came out.
Great, I've done my bit.
Does the door look like it goes into a place that like makes logical sense? Or are we walking through into a strange portal that shoots you off the side of the map?
You step into what appears to be a small entry hall. As you step through the front door, the air feels damp inside, as though this area is not kept quite as well as it should be. The room is rectangular, about 10 feet long and half as wide, with pale stone tiles underfoot, many chipped or cracked with age.
It's a different universe.
A narrow wooden bench hugs the left wall, sitting beneath a dusty glass notice board, its contents yellowed and curled with time. And opposite you, on the far wall, stands an iron door, solid and rusting at the base. Detect magic. That door in front of you does not have obdurative magic on it.
Okay.
I will try to open that door.
It appears to be physically locked, like you can rattle it slightly, but something is physically blocking it from opening.
I thought the whole image on that the one is sitting on was the door, because it looks like one of those push doors with the metal bit on the
I can see how you got that.
Yeah.
Huh?
You know how you get some doors that have a long metal strip where you push them?
Oh, like a door seen from the front rather than a room seen from the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because I've just randomly decided to do a map
I was like,
completely
why
different.
Why is the door done like that?
For a second, I was like, is this a present architect map that you've like? Oh boy, yeah, that one doesn't have any magic protecting it, so you should just be able to smash that one down.
Yeah. But before we smash it down and start getting into fights and battles and things, let's have a little list.
Well, he said that the guy said there shouldn't be anyone here right now.
There's magic on the place. There's got to be it's locked from the outside. There's got to be somebody inside here. He said there's a receptionist.
There's a reception station. You know what? Okay.
I'm going to listen at the door.
Your perception.
Oh, so you want to give your perception now? Just because I said I was going to listen at the door. I'm just
Perception.
Perception. Where is it? Yep.
Everyone's turning into horses slowly.
And that is 14.
14. You do not hear anything particularly. Potentially like a gentle hum of a building that's, you know how you see buildings in the real world where it's obviously all closed but the lights are still on because for some reason people don't turn lights off. It's that kind of thing. Maybe just the hum of a building, but there's no footsteps, no noises, no people sounds.
And does this door have a lock? Or is it open?
It doesn't have a lock. It appears to be a push door from the small metal panel on the right hand side. But there is no...
So it is there. Wrong side, though.
It's a metal panel. I'm going to just brush it gently in case it's electrified.
Well, I mean, you already put your ear to it, but no, it is not electrified. It's cold.
I know what happens if you don't check doors first. How many years ago is that now?
Let's see. The last campaign was 2.5 years. We were doing this one for a few months. Then it was 2 years before that. So let's say 4 3/4. Before that was 1.5 years. So we're about 6 and a bit. And then that was before that towards the end. So somewhere around 6.5.
6.5, 7 years ago. Yeah.
Holy.
I know.
I wasn't even engaged when you did that.
And you still haven't forgiven me. But you never said you checked. Anyway, I will.
No, it's because I said I checked the door for traps, and you said you didn't check the door handle or something. I don't remember exactly what it was.
I can't remember now. It's a long time ago. I think you checked it for something specific, and I thought, well, it's not actually. I can't remember. Anyway, I push the door open.
You don't.
I don't push the door open.
Because as Ozzy already tried, it rattles as though it is locked from the other side.
Both to the side.
Again, we can just break this one.
I can jump teleport inside and unlock it, or try to.
Is that going to expend any energy though? Because I don't think it's really worth that.
And just thinking about anything else I can do. Heat
So
metal.
I giggle because it is the idea that bashing a metal door down doesn't exert any energy.
Yeah, not for Ozzy. Ozzy doesn't have like a place to store the energy. It's
He doesn't even have lungs.
Yeah.
For some reason, I do occasionally seek lactic acid if I exert myself, but I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah, what the hell? That's fascinating. I need to watch you the next time you're going to excrete lactic acid.
So I'm going to conjure my mage hand. Right? The range is 30 feet, and it says a floating hand appears at a point you choose within range. So if I choose the other side of this door,
No.
and then it says I can use the hand to manipulate an object, open an unlocked door container, that kind of thing. So I'm going to put my mage hand on the inside and then feel around for a bolt.
You.
No what?
No, you can't do that.
Why not?
That solves it too easily. He needs us to struggle.
That solves it. We've been through this before about mage hands not specifying that you need to be able to see where you're putting it. You have to be able to see where you're putting it.
It's enlightening. That's what you're doing.
I truly believe that is just bad wording, and they did not intend that people can put mage hands. Actually, no. To be fair, I think the last time we came up with this, I remember exactly. We said we came to the conclusion that you could do that, but you have no feeling through the mage hand, so you have absolutely no way of knowing what it's touching or what it's doing.
I have the perfect solution.
Mm-hmm.
I can bash down the door silently.
Okay.
Because of a spell that I prepared, I have what I have renamed Muffled Oars, which is silence.
Sure.
That's really funny.
So I can attempt to bash down the door. I knew that was going to come in handy. I knew it. I didn't think it would be so soon, but I knew it.
Go on then.
How does that sound
Or just
as a
when
plan?
you want to shut me up.
Well, it's not going to sound like much, is it?
You say you can silently bash? Hell yeah, do it!
Well, like everything will be silent. You'll not be able to cast any spells or anything if you've got to speak to do it, because the universe can't hear you.
They're always listening.
How long for?
It'll last 10 minutes, but it's like a sphere, so we'll just move out of it for a bit. But it'll take me 10 minutes to do, unless you'd like me to do it really quickly. In which case, I can do it really quickly.
But not in a particular rush at the moment.
You'll end up excreting lactic acid, huh?
Maybe if it's like how when you hold your breath, you get it. Sometimes it's just like if I'm really exerting myself, I think it's more of a force of habit, and so the magic in my system sort of wills it into existence.
Take the 10 minutes.
All right. I shall ritually cast Muffled Oar, in which I will hang on. What's it? It's got verbal and somatic components, so I'll just kind of mutter under my breath something about it will sound Ozzy's voice will pitch to two different pitches, and it sounds like an old married couple bickering, telling each other to shut the fuck up. She does hand symbols of slowly rowing a rowboat with a single oar, like a canoe.
That's
What
there's that kind of ghostly green glow emanating from inside of his armor as the runes on his ribcage glow.
Very discreet.
How big is it?
It is it'll fill this room. It's a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range. So I choose the door.
Yeah, there you go. So that would be your.
So any creature or object entirely inside the sphere has immunity to thunder damage, and creatures have the deafened condition while entirely inside it. Casting a spell that includes a verbal component is impossible.
So you do this, and it goes silent.
Yeah, I'll turn around and attempt to say, "Oh, I think it's working."
For the podcast, my dad is now mouthing words. But weirdly, Monty, you could have sworn, even though you were in silence, you just heard a whisper from over your back shoulder.
Spooky.
Back shoulder? Oh, back over your shoulder. Not that you have a shoulder on your back. You know what I'm saying.
I'll get out my pickaxe.
Yep.
And then start bashing it down.
Yeah. It takes longer than you'd hope. Quite a while. It's on the first swing you realise you're going to be here for a bit. It's a hefty metal door, and there's some kind of big metal bar on the other side, maybe two of them, stopping it from opening. But you smack it with your pickaxe, you hit it again and again and again. I'm sure eventually, we fade to a scene where you're still bashing onto it, and Pesto and Monty and Elf sitting on the bench.
Playing cards.
Yeah,
Playing cards.
As long as one of them's keeping an eye on the time.
Clang, clang, clang.
Playing Go Fish.
Playing Snap.
Until it fades again, you can see the door, rather than necessarily being destroyed, it's started denting inwards, so it's more like a concave shape. And eventually, one last swing, and it slams open. Not because you broke the door in two, but because you bent it so much that whatever was holding it, like a lock, just slots out and falls, and it opens up. Silently, of course.
A very silent slam. I'll turn around and go, which he thought would say, "Oh, it's open now."
But we'll just we don't notice. We just
you are concentrating too hard on your cards.
One of you thought you were playing Snap, the other one thought you were playing
No, you set up for Go Fish, and then one of you's looking at the cards, the other one says, got any sevens, but it's just.
Just saying, it's your turn. Go!
And then Ozzy dispels it. You just catch the end of a sentence.
No, I'm not dispelling it. I'll just tap him.
A skeleton touches you.
Technically, a skeleton's always touching me.
Monty will go through the door.
Okay. You go through the door. You see a room. 25 by 15. You find yourself in what must once have been a welcome room, though now it feels more like a checkpoint. The floor in this room is an unpolished bare stone that has evidently never had any attempt to be made particularly pretty, and sitting in front of you is a polished wooden desk. The desk is not large or indeed interesting. It's a simple wooden desk with a drawer either side of the center, with a simple chair sitting behind. On the desk itself is a simple brass reception bell. There's nothing behind this desk apart from the back wall, in which sits one large metal door, which is, in the most part, featureless, apart from the letterbox-sized slit, which is covered by a hinged panel. To the right of the door is a large panel, which is evidently also hinged and locked with no obvious keyhole, like some kind of item retrieval panel for those at the front desk. Above this panel is a single light that is currently red.
I will go and investigate the desk. I'm looking for buttons, switches.
We've just broken our way into an escape room, haven't we?
So, you give me an investigation of the desk.
I think it's a prison person. Investigation. That be.
May I assist?
Yeah.
You may. I get advantage already with my investigative glasses I wear.
You can assist or roll it yourself.
I'll roll it myself.
Eyes of mine, let's see.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
I'll do it myself. 16.
Usually 6.
18.
16.
Oh, 16. 16 and 18. The 16. You decide not to look at the drawers because somebody's already looking at the drawers, but instead you look underneath the desk, mostly because you're shorter and it's quite a lot easier. You find nothing of particular interest, no buttons, no levers, nothing like that, except attached under the desk, as though someone was hiding it, not necessarily from intruders, but maybe from their boss. There's a little wind-up cube. It's a cube with a keyhole in it.
Yoink.
Oh, you grabbed
Like
it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Don't say it like that.
We have a keyhole. We have a skeleton key.
Wait.
Although, is your I don't suppose your tech magic's going anymore, is it?
Did it take 10 minutes for him to
Yeah.
get that door down?
Yes. It's a very heavy metal door.
Now it's worn off. Hold on.
It's fucking rock and roll. That's how heavy metal it is.
Yeah, I'll yoink the cube, put it in the bag for now, and then set up my little ritual again. I think I've got like a mobile kit set up for it at this point.
The 18, you find the drawer on the left is unlocked, but the one on the right is locked by just a small keyhole. Nothing, doesn't look particularly strong in any way. In the left drawer, you find a coin pouch with 9 silver in it,
Pay for the drinks.
and a ledger of item entries marked confiscated. The name's blacked out, but it just seems to be things that have come through here. But there's no. It's actually particularly hard to read. It is not a big list of things that's going to be inside. It's more just like numbers and dates, and nothing particularly interesting.
I was going to suggest we look for one of them, but if it's not got any useful info.
Well, we've got to take it with us for the moment, just in case. We find something later on.
Is there a badger on it?
Is there a badger on it?
There is not a badger on it.
So the other drawer, which is locked.
Mm-hmm.
Ozzy, do you want to try? Oh, okay. Are we still inside the zone of silence?
If Alex said that it took 10 minutes, it only lasts 10 minutes.
Oh,
We can
fine.
do another one.
No, that's fine.
So I can just try and force it open if you want. The skeleton key's once a day.
Is it? Oh, okay. Well, probably yeah. Force it open then.
Give me a strength.
Silently. 13.
Yeah.
So I will, because I've just remembered I can do it. I will use my. It's called something.
Well, that is called something.
It is called something. What? It's always really hard to find on this because it's got a funny name. It uses second wind, but I can never find what the name of it is called. Tactical mind. So have I failed that ability check, Alex?
No.
No? Okay, then I will not use it.
I was waiting for him to get to that point. I'm surprised you didn't hear me say yes. It's easy to open. You yank it, and it's obviously just like one of those locks that's just a small piece of metal, slots into a hole. It bends almost immediately as you yank it open. And sitting inside, rather ironically, is a single key.
Hear that, listeners? When in doubt, yank it.
You gotta tug on it.
Well, the only thing we found so far, which has a keyhole, is that cube.
Damn.
This is a lock key. On the cube is a like wind up
Ah, right.
hole. You know how that does have a different sort of form to it.
Gotcha.
I have absolutely no idea what you mean by a wind-up
So
key.
wind-up keys tend to have like a that kind
Triangular.
of hollow. Well, no, they're
It's
also
like a
they're
little
hollow.
Allen wrench thing you put in.
Yeah. You know, that kind of thing.
Not what I think of. But the point is, it doesn't really matter what they look like. The key would not fit in the box.
Fine. So I'm going to go over to the door and see if I can, and the hatch, see if there's any sign anywhere of where there might be a concealed keyhole or something.
To the door.
And this.
Give me
Door and the
investigation.
And the hatch. Investigation. Ah, I missed. Try again. That is 16.
Nothing that I haven't already given you,
So there's nowhere the key would fit.
except
Yeah.
as you're investigating it. There's just a little, like one of those little like covering panels that was almost the same color as the metal door, so you didn't see it until you got up close. It's one of those little
I know.
circles that covers a lock that you push sideways.
I'll push it sideways.
There's just a keyhole underneath.
Is it the right shaped keyhole for the key?
Similar enough, the key would fit in.
I put the key in.
Is it electrified?
I'm going to find out by putting the key in it.
You already touched it. The key fits inside but doesn't turn.
Damn it.
And the panel does not have any keyholes. But as you get to this point, the detect magic procs up, and this door once again has the is it abjuration? It's abjuration, isn't it? Yeah, the abjuration tinge to it, and the walls have that as well. But again, different abjurations, same as it was outside.
Yeah. All right, this wall is protected. This door is protected.
The key doesn't fit in the door. I don't want to smash the door down this time.
It will definitely let somebody know and become a problem. So,
Still thinking about doing the fade through the door and see what happens.
definitely, whatever you do, definitely don't do it through the walls, because I think that'll hurt. Probably quite a bit. The door, I imagine it's still going to let somebody know. Or it'll be just you on the other side and you can't help.
Any other
Or
ideas?
I can try to pick it.
You could try and pick it. Yeah, got it. You try and pick it.
Was there like a reason that the key doesn't work? Do we know what that is?
It doesn't fit.
I thought it went in but didn't turn.
So it's the same.
Have you tried to open it? Like maybe it doesn't need to turn?
True. Give the door a push and a pull. Do the same to the panel.
Yeah, I mean that's also locked. there is no keyhole or anything to put the
You
key.
said there was like a letterbox thingy slot.
Yeah.
Can I open that?
You can open it, but it just leads through to the backside of another panel on the other side, and that one you cannot open. You assume it's the same sort of thing. On this side, there's a little like latch. So I assume it's just a latch on the other side as well.
Alright, shall I?
Go for it.
Alright.
What does one do to pick locks? I don't have any pick locks.
Depends if you're
My
proficient. or not.
multi-tool.
Yeah, you have proficiency with tools that you make up with that you have proficiency in everything. Yeah, I know. But if you if you're proficient, you get proficiency.
I'm proficient in thieves' tools.
Yes.
Does that count?
Yes,
Oh, good. I'm proficient then.
So it's
it's just proficiency.
okay. Right. 3.
Can I assist since I'm proficient as well?
I'm gonna go with no because I'm not really sure how you'd assist on someone picking a lock.
I can put my ear to the door and say it's going to click.
Yeah. So this is not just proficiency; it's expertise. So it's double.
Yeah, sure.
proficiency.
Yeah.
13 plus 8, 21.
Easy. I'm gonna tell you the DC was 12. Like you just sort of start fiddling and you're like, is there any security in here? Just unlock it straight away.
Anything change with the magic around the door? Or like the magic is still there?
The shape of a door.
Or like it moved with the door?
That's the noise the door makes when you open it.
Anyone else getting the feeling that this is very easy to get into and then going to be very hard to get out?
I think so. Yes.
Well, I think
After they get to prison.
the magic for the doorways is still up, so I think it may just be like a static sensor type thing, so it registers anybody walking through them. Not necessarily.
But we got no choice, have we? We either go through the door or
Yeah, we should
Unless-
probably hurry.
unless we do my other plane thing, which might not send it off.
I
Possibly.
think we're a little too deep in it now for that.
Open the door.
Open up the door. As you open the door, do you go through? Because you wouldn't be able to see as much if you don't go through it.
I'm going to look through it first because I want to make sure like there's no big pit with spikes and things.
I don't want a strange portal myself.
So just to clarify, you'd only be able to see like straight through. You won't be able to see around the corners or anything. Because obviously that would
That
involve
is
sticking your
for
head
the
through.
moment fine.
Which means if I do this with a polygonal thing, you'd be seeing something like. Let's go with. There you go. So you can tell it's a corridor. Of course, you can't see much of the corridor. Directly in front and slightly to the right, there is another door. I'll just omit the information for this. So as you open the door, you see a thin corridor running from east to west. The floor in here is the same stone as the previous room. And I've got, as you look around, you see, things of note. But you would, at this point, only see one thing of note. The wall opposite to the door you came through, there is a door slightly to the east, to the right. I know before you've asked for east and westy, so I'll go with easty-westy type stuff. This door is once again solid metal, only this time has an obvious locking system. 3 keyholes that form a small triangle in the direct center of the door.
We've got one key already. Okay,
That's so extra.
I'm going to use my.
It is an
rapier
escape room.
and just tap on the floor in front of me before I step forward.
Yep.
I take it nothing much happens.
Nothing much.
Pesto,
Yeah.
can you any sign of magic on the floor in there?
Let me see what my raccoon eyes see.
You can't really tell. You're pretty sure there's nothing on the floor, but since you're looking through abjuration, it would be hard to tell if there's abjuration on the floor in there.
I'll walk in.
You walk in. Nothing particularly happens. I shall explain the rest of what you see. You see this corridor, east to west, and now I can tell you that there were 4 things of note. On the wall opposite you came through, there are 2 doors, one on the far west and one slightly to the east. The one on the far west is a normal wooden door, so it's on the northern wall, is a normal wooden door with no evident form of security. But the other door is that one which has the 3 keyholes. The third thing of note is on the far eastern wall there is a small window, which has bars attached to the inside, evidently to warn off intruders. The fourth and last notable feature is the panel to your direct right, on the same wall as the door you came through. You see a metal panel that is almost identical to the panel you saw on the other side, with hinges and a light above. But this time there is a button on the left-hand side. Left-hand side as you look at it, so the east-hand side as we're looking on the map.
So, do we press the button? We need 3 keys. We've got 1. I tell you what. First of all,
Do you want
let's take
to try the door first?
exactly. We'll try the door. Can we open the door?
Which door?
Is it open? The non-wooden
Easy
one.
wooden one.
Oh, the easy wooden one.
I assume that one was going to be open. The next part of the escape room where we can find things.
Probably, yeah. But I'm wondering, first of all, the metal door. Just a little gentle push. Does it open?
The panel door.
The
Because there are three things in
Door with
here.
all the keyholes.
There's the door with 3 keyholes, the wooden door, and the panel.
the keyholes one.
Locked.
Okay. The key we found.
Kiwi.
The kiwi. I'll put it in one of the keyholes and turn it.
Do you try all 3, or are you just going to try one at random?
I'm going to try the top one. Is it a triangle? One point at the top and 2 wide at the bottom, sort of shape.
Yes.
So like an arrowhead pointing upwards. I should do the top one first.
You put it in, it fits nice and easily, but as you try to turn it, you can feel like a mechanical resistance.
Okay. Then I'll try the other 2 and see what happens.
It doesn't fit as nicely into the other 2. It slots in, but you feel as though it could quite easily get jammed in those keyholes.
So we do need 3 keys. It just occurred to me that if I was doing it, I'd have you use 1 key 3 times, because then everybody would running around trying to find the 2 keys, and it'd be like, no, you don't need it. It's in your hand. But anyway.
So that depends on whether you've gone for discover all the parts and get all the pieces, or I'm fucking with you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, if that was the case, then we'd have to make sure that we looked at the bottom of the pit trap for the hidden door.
Exactly.
So I was feeling the experience from that miniseries. As we entered this room.
Tomb of Annihilation. I'm still waiting.
Don't worry, I'm never going to be like that, especially not in a building like this. Anyway, yes, so that door does not open. The wooden door.
Wooden door. Give it a push.
Are you going to try and fully open it, or are you just checking to see if it's open?
If it does open, I'm going to open it just a crack and see if I can peep through.
You open it just a crack. It is unlocked, but you realise quite quickly that opening it just a crack will not give you much, as I can reveal a little bit with this polygon. I think that's what you'd get with the triangle.
Oh.
It looks like it's probably just a thin corridor going up north.
Okay, but I can't hear anything. It's like I can't hear footsteps or voices or anything like that.
No.
I will open the wooden door.
You open up the wooden door.
It's a corridor.
You see a narrow hallway, dimly lit by 2 flickering oil sconces along the eastern wall. One of the sconces seems to be perfectly normal, but the other, further northern from you, burns with an odd purple flame that sputters and sparks every now and again. This corridor is 5 feet wide and 20 feet long, so 20 feet away from you and 5 feet. There are 2 doors in this corridor, one on the eastern wall at the far end, a large metal door with 3 keyholes in the direct center in a triangle shape, and one on the western wall in the center, again made of metal, but this time with a heavy bolt as thick as your arm that runs across the center. It is attached to a gear in the center that you assume from the mechanics on it, Pesto, you'd probably get a pretty good idea, that when rotated, it would pull the bars in from both sides and allow the door to be opened. You get the kind of idea. You turn the circle, the 2 bits come in. And
that looks like a door designed to keep something on the other side of it.
On the eastern stone wall, either side of the door with 3 keyholes, hang faded parchment signs that read, "Authorized access only," and "Items must be registered before storage."
Oh, we should go in there.
The floor in this corridor is gently sloped, slanting downwards towards a stairwell at the far end. This spiral staircase appears to allow you to go either up or down.
We're going down.
So, we need to use investigative skills to find the other 2 keys to get into this main part to find the dude I'm looking for. This door on the left is openable, but gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Any magic on it, or pure machinery?
That's
Which?
The big metal door with the twisty.
Wonderful. I had forgotten that your detect magic is up, so I should tell you that the wall. So both of the walls that the doors with the 3 keyholes are on. Does that make sense? So there's 2 doors with 3 keyholes. Both of those doors are covered in that abjuration magic, as are the doors themselves. The corridor that goes north to the stairwell, the left-hand wall, once again, has this abjurative magic, and the far wall, once again, has this abjurative magic. You would be able to work out from just, like, general perspective that the corridor here, say, at the other side of the stairwell, is an outer wall. This one seems to lead to that walled section that you saw from the outside, and then the two other walls with the 3 keys. I mean, logic all dictates that that's a very secure room, so there's a lot of security on it. Yes, so the features, there's the door with the keyholes, the staircase, the door on the western wall, which you could open from the inside, and then a sparking and spluttering purple sconce.
And what is magic?
Pesto, is that sconce magical? Spluttering sconce.
I can't remember if you said before. I only remember
I did not
talking about the walls.
I did not, but you weren't looking in that corridor. If you ever look down that corridor, yeah, the purple sputtering appears to be divination magic.
I think it's a camera.
Oh, hello.
I mean, that's not necessarily too much of a problem. Captain, you've got that thing that, like, fills an area with smoke, haven't you?
I have. That's true.
What if I just go up to it and go...
It's a fairly, like, hefty flame in itself, because it is a sconce, so it kind of flickers a little bit, but it doesn't go out.
I get all my toys to help.
When you say hello, same thing. When you say hello, you hear echoing from somewhere back at the entrance, you hear a...
Oh dear. I can use prestidigitation to instantaneously light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire. So I'm going to try and snuff out the torch.
Does it say magical or non-magical?
It doesn't say magical or non-magical. It says candle, a torch, or a small campfire. This is a torch. So
fair enough. It goes out, and you hear another from somewhere back where you came from.
I'm just going to get my axe ready.
Okay, I'll go and have a chat. Where are we? Where's the map? I'm good.
I'll pop open this door while you're doing that.
I'm going to head back towards the room number 2, the main room.
Yeah, so the room with the desk in it, you see a guard standing there. Not anything particularly special. They're not weedy. They're not big and strong. They're definitely wearing leather armor with patches of metal. Seemingly not the highest tier or grade of army man you've ever seen, but they're a fairly proficient guard member, you would assume, with a sword at their side. And as you walk through, they go, "Oh, hello."
Hello! At this point, I'm going to use my Eyes of Charming to cast a charm person.
Gonna give him the eyes. And it'll be a wisdom save?
It's, yes, DC 13.
8.
He's charmed.
Yes.
Charming.
So he looks at me as a sort of friendly kind of person, yes?
Yeah, neutral. So, like, they obviously would not, like, do things illegally for you, but are fairly nonplussed by your existence.
Glad you've finally arrived. You were supposed to be showing us around, but it's all right. We found our way. If you could just stay here and wait for the others when they arrive and send them on through.
Okay, roll a deception. He's charmed. That doesn't mean you get to modify memory.
You should have advantage because he's charmed, though. That's what the condition is.
I haven't got it open in front of me, so I'm just going to believe you.
I believe him. He has that on his face. That is... Ooh, that's not so bad. That is a 24.
Not so bad. He says...
I'm good at deception. I've been better at persuasion. Can I persuade him instead? That'd be 28.
No. Because you're lying. He says, I don't remember being told I was supposed to... Maybe it was one of the other guards that you were told was supposed to be here.
Yes, that'll probably be it. Anyway, if you don't mind hanging on, I suppose the guard we were supposed to see will probably turn up shortly.
Yes, but I do imagine that he was supposed to be paid.
Yes, absolutely he was. And as we agreed previously, we'll be paying you on the way out.
Oh, well, I'm sure you'll agreed that with the previous guy. See, I'm a pay on point.
Have a gold for now, and we'll have a chat again later.
On the rest?
Later.
All right, then. Just wanders over, sits at the desk.
I'm so tempted to ask him about how to get into this other room, but if I push it too far, it's all going to go very badly wrong, so I'm going to leave it like that.
Well, it's about to go very badly wrong in like a minute, right? When it wears off.
That's okay.
Yeah, he's just sitting at the he's sitting at the desk, looking at the front entrance. Puts his boots up on the desk. As he slams his boots onto the desk, you hear a vague like bing of the bell as it sort of rings out. It doesn't hit it, but like the vibrations of the desk.
Yeah. What's happening back in the corridor?
Opening that door.
You've only been gone like 30 seconds, so probably not that much.
Pesto reaches above his head, grabs this big wheel and turns it, and poof, the door opens. Well, the door unlocks, I should say.
And me and my SEAL team 4 plus Olive.
You open up the door. You see quite a pretty sight. The door leads out into a surprisingly pretty garden, about 25 by 20 feet. Around the edge of this garden is a long green bush with tight branches and neatly cut leaves that hides the bottom half of a tall stone wall that encases this whole area. The floor is a carpet of soft grass, and on the northern side there is a little cobblestone platform with a stone bench on top, perhaps for private reading or a breath of fresh air. And opposite is a small statue of a figure wearing robes with no discernible features.
What?
Is your detect magic still going, or have we run out? Is it run out now?
Should still be there, I think.
We haven't been in this corridor that long.
10 minutes, it should still be going, yes.
Any sign of anything magical, like a hiding place or anything?
Nothing obvious. The big walls have the same abjuration, but the bushes don't, and none of the like the statue or the bench or anything have anything magical.
Just some fucking homicidal dryad or something.
Yeah.
The door on the inside, on the garden side, does it have the same mechanism to open it, or can it only be opened from the corridor?
Only be open for the corridor.
Right. I'm just thinking we may have somewhere to put the guard.
Can I investigate the statue?
You're welcome
on the
to.
other side of the courtyard? Wonderful.
On the southern side of the courtyard, but yes.
I'm going to investigate the bench area.
If you wish to.
18.
18. It's a kind of it's not denominational, it is not specific as far as you can tell. It just seems to be kind of a aesthetic piece.
And I've got a 19.
It's a bench.
So I'm looking for hidden keys and things, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a bench.
You said that this is external, so this is actually at the outside.
You can see the sky,
Yeah.
yes. The rainbow belt shining above.
I'm going to call the guard. So, I say, I've got the rest of your gold. Everybody back in the corner.
There's a bit of a clinking of metal as he walks through and goes, "Well, I thought you'd come to your senses, yes?"
Here we go. Oh, I see. So I've dropped a gold coin over there. Over there.
He's standing in the corridor with you in the garden as you just point to the center of the garden. Is like, okay.
Well, if you wanted to say, you don't have to have it, of course. I'll just take it back.
What?
Gold. It's over there.
Yeah, and you're supposed to be giving it to me.
Oh, you don't want it? All right, fine. That's okay. The other chap can have it when he arrives.
Well, certainly not what I said at all.
I'm going to walk over and pick up nothing if that. Oh, yes, of course. Silly me. Just 1 second. Yes. Now I've got to think of a fabulous gem. I can magically create a pile of coins worth no more than 100 gold pieces. I can create a pile of gold coins that will last for an hour.
Okay.
So I will do that and magically.
So you have an hour left in this city. Good. Now you create 100 gold coins. Do you hand them all over?
No, I'm going to create 100 gold coins on the bench next to me, and say, my purse split. I'm afraid they're over here, but if you want them, there they are. And then I shall leave them and start to walk towards the gate.
You're still standing in the hallway, just looking rather perplexed at this whole completely strange and abnormal interaction.
Yes, there if you want
Uh-huh.
it. It's not my fault
Yes.
that the bag split. Sorry, that's just one of those things.
This is a perfectly normal method of paying somebody.
I was counting the money, persuasion, and my purse split. It's on the bench there. I don't have a spare purse. If you want to take it, it's yours. If you don't, wait for the other guard to arrive and you can have it.
Deception.
It's persuasion. Right, deception.
Deception.
You have to say something true to persuade them.
Exactly.
It is on the bench. It is gold coins. They're not going to last for more than an hour, but they are there. That is 21.
He says, "Well, I believe you that you've left it over there. My curious note is why you aren't picking it up yourself."
Because it's yours.
Okay.
And if you don't want it,
Well, it's not going anywhere.
fine.
Where is he on the map at the moment, Alex?
Yeah, I didn't. He would have been standing, well, kind of here, but you're standing there, so. I guess in the hall. There you go. You'll stand awkwardly.
I'm just wondering whether to. Ozzy,
Why?
push him through the door.
Yeah,
away.
give me athletics.
That is only a 7 plus 3 for 10, but it's a check, so assuming that fails,
It does not.
no problem then. I don't need to.
Yeah. He's off balance. You just push him, and he just straight through the door.
Close the door and lock it.
You start to close the door, and he just shoves his foot in it. But as you're closing the door, it just like slams on his foot, and he lets out the yelp of pain.
I'll just kick his foot out the door.
Give me another strength. Give it with advantage because he's just been slammed in the fucking shin.
18 and a 19.
Yeah, you're perfectly
So,
fine. You don't worry about it.
22.
You just kick it, your foot gets yanked inwards, and you slam the door, close it. You're banging against the door as the charm wears off.
Look on the bright side, at least you've got some gold.
Well, we might need to kill that guy, Captain. I'm just being realistic.
I don't see why we should have to.
No witnesses.
I mean, you've seen all of our faces.
Well, we'll see. Right. I just hope there's nothing in there we actually should have found,
You
because
took an oddly convoluted method to be doing so, but you know what? It's a RP playing game. You get to do whatever you want, as weird and strange as it is.
I just hope we didn't have any more investigating to do in the garden. Right.
I'm not going to be too meta, but it wouldn't have taken much more money to pay him off.
I did think about it. Yes. Well, he got lots of money. All he had to do is go and pick it up, and he'd be rich.
Yes.
So, let's go.
You go over to the spiral staircase. Yep.
Yep.
Weren't we told that it's down?
I know.
But we can't get in anywhere else.
The office
and
was up.
This other door has
He said the office was up,
stuff.
and the room with all the bits and pieces in was on the ground floor. He didn't mention the basement.
But this door needs 3 keyholes, so we can't get in. So we've got to go.
Up or down.
It's the next part of the
You
escape
can
room.
go up or
Yeah.
down.
We
There's
can go up
two
or
more.
down.
There's 2 more areas you can supposedly get to. This is a staircase that goes up and down. It's a spiral staircase. You're entering halfway.
We were told that his thing was going to be on the ground floor,
Which-
so we've got to leave here.
Which
anyway.
it is. It's in this room with the 3 keyholes, but we need to find the other 2 keys.
Let's go up first.
Uppies.
Uppies.
Okay. So, you're probably going to disappear. But I will be revealing unto you.
I see another ghost. Back soon.
As you ascend the steps, you exit out the top into a large
And
office
top.
room.
So, an office. I was expecting
Yes.
cubicle office area.
Yep. A large office room in the north. Sorry, I've said in the northwestern corner. You come out in the northwestern corner. This office is quiet, perhaps too quiet, making an almost eerie atmosphere, and it is evident that whoever owns this office is a person of order and keen on neatness. A wide wooden desk rests in the center, its surface clean but for one dented candle holder, and a cluster of ledgers stacked neatly in the corner. And a small picture of a young girl. Don't read the bit in brackets. Behind the desk is what was obviously once a comfy office chair, now pressed flat by many years of use.
I read the bit in brackets.
As easy as it is. Roll to break the fourth wall.
Natural 20.
A shame. It was a natural 30 that you needed.
Fuck!
Below the top surface are 4 drawers, 2 on each side of the chair. The walls of this room are littered with a variety of paintings, posters, and notes, all neatly placed in some kind of order, none looking particularly intriguing to you on the first look. Along the eastern wall, on the northern side, 2 large safes sit pressed up against the stone wall, stacked up against each other, with another, much smaller safe placed on top, all locked with different styles of locking mechanisms. Beside them, to the south, there is a large window that would be pretty to look through would it not be for the large metal bars that obscure the view. On the southern wall is a small fireplace that is currently unlit, with a small pile of ash in the bottom. and to the east of this sits a mannequin bust, which currently has a coat placed around its shoulders and a hat on its head. It seems that the owner of this office allows them one corner of mess, as in the southwestern corner is a pile of random items ranging from paper to books and even the broken arm of some old automaton. I realise that is something that I forgot to put in the thing, so that's all around here. That pile of mess. There you go.
Well, let's start off. I'm going to investigate. Well, first of all, before I investigate anything, I'm going to try the drawers.
The drawers.
I'll go through the pile.
Well, we'll keep an eye on the stairs to make sure no one else comes up.
A top left, a top right, a bottom left, and a bottom right, and I will allow you to choose which one.
I'm going to start top left.
Top left. You just opening it, or you're investigating, or what did you say you were doing?
I'm going to first of all do a general investigation for traps because I don't want to set anything nasty off when I.
Sure.
So my investigation for traps. I'm so glad I have. Well, sort of glad I have. That's 13.
13. It seems particularly ordinary. You don't see any locks. You don't see any reason why it wouldn't open. There may be something on the inside, like blocking it or locking it, but it seems fine.
I'll cautiously open the top left drawer.
You do. You open the top left drawer, and as you do, there's this bing sound as where you're opening it, a shackle traps itself around your hand. You're locked to the desk.
Never mind. What's inside the drawer apart from the shackle?
You can't get it open because the shackle's in the way.
So, one moment. Anybody any good with... Is there a keyhole on the shackle?
Nope.
Anybody, before I start doing things, any way of getting me out of this shackle?
You'll love to know, by the way. To notice that trap was a DC 14.
Oh!
I will heft my pickaxe.
That. Something which doesn't injure me?
I mean, I'm not going to try and stab you with it, Captain.
Yes, I understand what you're going to try and do. You're going to try and cut the shackle off, which I appreciate, but...
Well, they'd all like rip it out of the desk.
Looking for whatever I can do. I can teleport, which I can do 3 times a day. So I should just...
My solution to try would also be teleportation that I can do.
I can, but I don't even need to do that. I've got a thing which I never really use called Blink. And Blink...
Yeah, I mean, Blink is a strange one because it's like by round.
I vanish, and then a round later I reappear.
Maybe.
No, not maybe.
There's a roll.
Oh, I see what you mean.
To see if you...
Well, D20 end your turn.
Yeah.
On a roll of 11 or higher, you...
It's a bit of a weird one.
Right, so it lasts for a minute. Oh, I see. Yeah, I didn't really... I'll give it a go. Why not? I've never used Blink. I don't know
You have. You used it when you were in the bottom of the ship. Stealing drugs.
No, I used Dimension Door.
To get out, but you used Blink first to get under the floor.
Did I?
Because that's when we realised that you couldn't use it the way you were using it, but we worked around it.
Well, I'll blink anyway, which means I roll and nothing happens. So 10 seconds, I'll do it again.
You go, ha! Oh. You don't actually have to wait 10 seconds. You can just say 10 seconds has passed.
It worked this time. So I blink out from this plane, and when the spell ends...
You'll blink in and out for a minute.
Yeah. So I'll just pop back into existence to the left. Outside.
You do so. And you have a lovely new bracelet.
It came with me.
Just the bit around your wrist. The rest stayed behind.
Fair enough. Right, I shall get to... So was that investigation I did all the drawers, or just the first drawer?
Just the top left.
And I guess I shall investigate the top right.
Sure.
Which I get 18 for this time.
You don't find anything... You didn't actually open the top left.
Oh, right. Sorry, in that case I opened the top left properly.
Sure. A hidden shackle trap. No. The second one. I should have, really. I should have.
I'm not going to take it off. I'm just going to paint it gold.
Yeah, you open it, and inside is a small bronze key.
Oh! That's it, chaps.
Nailed it.
Anything else in
It's
there?
smaller than the key you have already.
Oh, might be the key for the safe over there, possibly. I shall retain the key and go to the top right drawer and investigate for traps.
You already did, and it was an 18. There... Yes?
I was going to say, can I investigate this pile?
Oh, yes. Since I've done the first drawer, yeah, go ahead.
You can do.
You've got piles?
I've got piles
Unfortunately.
down there.
And we're going to be investigating them.
Oh, no.
27.
Ooh.
27.
Please be graphic in your description.
You find it is mostly rubbish. Discarded pieces of paper, crumpled pieces of this. You find underneath all of the pile, there is actually a waste paper bin. It's just evidently become a big pile on top of a waste paper bin that someone has, whoever owns this office has just got a little bit away from them. The only thing that I already mentioned, the only thing that's particularly interesting is the broken arm of some old automaton, but
Yeah, what's up with that?
nothing particularly. It's the broken arm of an old automaton, severed at the shoulder.
I'll keep it.
Sure. It's like a bronzy gold color.
Cool. I can make C3PO.
Yeah. I'll go on to the next drawer, which is the top right, which I think you said I had investigated.
Yeah, you got the 18. You do not find any traps.
I'll open that drawer.
You do.
You needed a 19 to discover this one.
Yeah, I've written down you need one more than whatever you get.
Yeah.
Inside is a stack of empty notebooks and some general stationery.
Okay, go for the. Unless anybody else is doing anything, I go for bottom left. Do you want to go and have a look at the safes?
I was just say, as long as no one else is coming up the stairs, I'm still keeping guard.
You hear nothing. You see nothing. Well, you might hear the vague like banging of someone on the banging on a metal door down the corridor.
I'll investigate the fireplace.
Sure.
Yippee! That's another 27. I switched dies, and they both rolled a 19.
At first, not particularly interesting. You get a little ashy and annoying. But as you're tucked inside of the fireplace, a little cough left from your lungs, there's a loose brick at the back.
I pull it.
You just pull it?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you please listen to what I say?
Yeah.
Tucked behind the loose brick is a little silver key.
Ooh. How does it compare in size? How does it compare in size to my key from downstairs?
Smaller.
Smaller. Okay, this is not one of the main keys. It's another key. Okay, no worries.
I try to open the little box that was taped under the desk.
No, it doesn't fit in that.
It's not one of those. Damn.
Right, I'm going to go for
This
the...
is like the Palace of Keys.
It is. Bottom left drawer. Actually, before I do the bottom left drawer, did you say there's a picture on the desk?
Yes.
I'm going to investigate the picture.
Sure.
The one where I think that's where the brackets are hidden.
I'm looking for the brackets. And I have rolled a 18. An 18.
An 18? I mean, what details do you want? There's a small girl in a picture?
I'm looking at the frame as well, just in case anything behind it.
Oh, the whole... Okay, not just the picture. It's just a frame. There's nothing particularly interesting. There's nothing beneath it, nothing in it.
What's on the back of the picture?
There's nothing on the back of the picture. It's just a small girl. I mean, I can go into the details of the girl, but I don't know if that's what you were looking for, if you're looking for the frame and pictures and stuff.
Unless there's anything of interest.
It's very difficult for me to say whether there's anything of interest, because I know if there are things of interest in places.
Right.
Why would a small girl be in charge of the city guard's confiscation room and have a self-portrait on her desk?
That's obviously the guy's
It's just
wife.
racist. It's a halfling.
Oof. You can't be making those kind of
Very
mistakes, Captain.
Well, I'm assuming they're a halfling. So no,
Told you life was going to be this way.
nothing to report particularly. Right, I shall move on to the bottom left drawer, checking for traps. What are we doing investigation on top? Both exactly the same, which is 18.
You do not find any traps.
Open the drawer.
As soon as you open it, a loud and piercing alarm sound emanates from the
I
drawer.
will immediately, as soon as I hear it, turn around and cast silence.
Sure.
Without doing it as a ritual.
So it just goes,
Yeah, exactly like that.
but you can like feel the vibration of the sound. Like,
No,
it would
we've
be
negated it.
pulsing.
I'll hold up 10 fingers for 10 minutes.
So I'll look.
I love all these visual gags that you do whilst you're in silence for the podcast.
Podcast, we know you do this anyway. Imagine that visually we're being very funny.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time.
Hilarious.
Funny looking.
You would not believe it. And if you go on the Patreon, you still won't see it because it's
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't do that anymore.
Listen, I spend enough time editing the audio. I cannot imagine editing the video, like 3 hours worth of video as well.
Think about the rendering time too.
Well, if you did that, we'd have to start wearing clothes to this, and
Yeah,
Wearing-
we are all just
Mostly
constantly
clothes.
in the nude.
I've got a filter on the camera so that it's just a bit more, so
AI. It's AI.
that you don't blush through the whole thing, Rowan.
I see,
I can turn it
see.
off if you
Oh,
want.
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
do
Don't
that.
feel comfortable.
Don't
Do
no.
that.
No.
Show us. Prove your
I
technology.
don't like the way you said it, so now I'm not going to.
Apart from extremely loud stuff, is there anything else in the drawer?
Yeah, if you open it all the way.
Yeah.
Inside, there is a dark black orb.
The dark black orb. Is it the size of an apple?
Orb. We found orb.
Do you know what? For once, it's about the size of an apple. It's not the shape of an apple, but it would be about the size of an apple.
Holy shit!
Oh my god,
The
Purdy
time.
could have
Powerful.
The time
could
has
have
come.
ticked that off of her bingo card.
A set of 7 small, what I have written as emeralds. They're probably emeralds. Each with a different symbol etched into them.
Emerald is a fantasy role playing game's currency.
Is it? Oh, there you go.
I'm saying it sounds like it.
Oh, I
It's a
see. Yeah.
And also a heavy bronze gear.
Oh.
Specifically,
Can I see what's making?
emeralds with symbols on them.
Yes.
Mhm.
Nice. Not necessarily.
Can
Is
I?
it one symbol per gem?
Yes.
And what are the symbols?
Do you know something, Joe?
They aren't any symbols you recognize.
I'm relatively. This is as Joe, Ozzy would. I mean, has likely not ever seen this spell before. I'm pretty certain that emeralds with a rune on them or like symbol on them are the main component of Leomund's secret chest.
Good. I don't know what that is.
But that would be very unlike Alex to be like, I'm gonna find this spell this very niche spell that does this one thing, and then I'm gonna hide these things in a drawer. I feel like
That is unlike Alex. I don't think
Alex
he'd
wouldn't-
refer to
wouldn't
the
comb
spell
through
list.
the spell
yeah.
list and then use the very specific material component.
Unless Alex suddenly knows all the rules better than both of us combined.
Except,
I'm pretty sure it's emerald. Am I right to look it up, Alex? I feel like
Yeah,
Well,
can you
so
confirm or deny whether this is
The answer to
thing
whether
you're
you
doing?
can look it up is no, generally. But I'm saying yes, because I know otherwise you're not going to think about anything else, and I'm not going to have you for the rest of the session.
while Ozzy's doing that, can I tell what is making the noise in this desk drawer?
It's silent now. There's nothing
The
making the
drawer.
noise.
That's true, it's silent. Nothing appears to be making
I
any
will.
noise.
Yeah, but we can feel the vibrations. So I'll take all the bits out of the drawer and then close it.
Sure.
Can I still feel the vibrations in there?
No.
Okay, the noise has stopped. That's a good thing.
Could he have ever felt vibrations in the air?
He said we could.
Because that's something that he said.
No, it's something I said, and then you said
Oh,
no.
okay.
You got yourself switched around there.
Yeah, no. You can't.
In that case, I will go to the final drawer. Yes. Were you? No, that's right. Might as well finish the final drawer, which is. I don't know why I'm bothering to roll for checking for traps, since I did a really reasonable roll last time, and there was still a trap. So this one, 18,
You do not find any traps.
and I open the drawer.
It is locked. There's a little keyhole on it.
I have a variety of keys. What have we got? We've got a silver one and a bronze one, I think.
I've got the silver one. You've got a bronze one.
I'll try the bronze one.
Doesn't fit.
I will gesticulate at Pesto.
What?
Point at the keyhole.
He will testiculate.
Down on the floor?
And I will gesticulate and indicate
I look at the
that I would
floor.
like him to try and use the silver key in the keyhole.
Okay. I choose to understand.
It doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit. Or
I will gesticulate at Ozzy when he's finished looking at his
to smash.
brain.
It wasn't that. I'm sure there is a thing with emeralds and runes, but it was a similar thing, but not that.
Okay. I'm going to indicate to Ozzy, would you please open this drawer?
I will.
Give me a strength.
You break the drawer above this and have that alarm going off permanently. I'm going to be very upset.
That is merely a 7, which I'm going to assume fails.
It does fail.
So I will use my tactical.
Random
thingy.
bullshit, go.
Tactical mind.
I could do by reading the scroll thing so you have to go to reroll a failure, except you shouldn't be able to hear me.
Sure.
No, I only add a 2 to that. So that's a 9.
I gotta open.
And I use Flash of Genius
But it does.
to make it a 13.
Cannot get it open.
Thank
Jammed shut.
Wait.
That's one hell of a lock.
Oh, because it failed, it didn't expend the resource, which is fun.
What's my strength? -1. Okay.
I shall heft my pickaxe.
Sure. It would be hard to get to it. You'd kind of end up destroying the entire desk.
That's fine. I'm just waiting to get the nod from the captain, if that's acceptable.
Can't think of any other way of opening the bloody thing.
What?
Before. No. Actually, no. I can because I have got these.
I'm
tools.
really good at lockpicking, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to try it first. Though.
You're trying to say that, but you're in a bubble of silence.
Yeah. I'm going to try lockpicking because I've got my thieves' tools.
Okay.
I'm just standing there. Sadly.
6. I go.
You know what?
Be taller,
6.
jump in the air.
6. That is one hell of a difficult lock. You are just trying until Pesto comes over and just takes one of the lock picks out of your hand, flips it around 180, puts it back in your hand.
At which point I go.
You cross your fingers, cross your hands, and
Yeah, no, fine. You do it.
grumble off.
21.
That lock's seriously difficult. You do not
Really?
get unlocked.
Oh my god. All right. In that case, I shall head over.
I will ring the giggle bell.
Sure.
Give them.
To try and give.
Rowan, I always say advantage on this, and Rowan always looks at me and goes, "No, but you always roll." So to appease Rowan, I will say to give them disadvantage.
You're going to try and give them disadvantage. You get advantage.
Oh, right.
I'm so confused.
Rowan's just trying to work out if you're fucking with us, and you've
I was
you've
giving
put
you
on an act there.
I was giving you room to say just kidding again.
Fucking with you?
25.
Do not get it unlocked.
This is not actually a drawer. This is a wall. You're having me pick a wall.
You look at it and you're like, this is a painting.
I'm going to go over and look at
That's
these
it.
safes.
Sure.
We'll hold up the axe, the pickaxe, and inquire if I may.
I'm going to indicate not yet.
There are 3 saves.
And I'll say, do it.
Which I'm going to refer to as left, right, and small.
Okay.
As you look at it on the map, left would be the one that's at the north, right is the one that's at the south, and small is evidently the one that is lying on top. Which one would you like to look at first, or do you want me to just go through all of them?
Go through all of them because I'm going to look at the one eventually. Anyway.
The left safe has an old brass rotary dial with etched numbers from 0 to 30.
Oh.
A tarnished plaque reads, "We start young, but time makes us grow."
Oh, no.
The right-hand safe. It has a single large keyhole, which is currently blocked by a metal plate behind the opening. So imagine a keyhole and the other side from you, it is blocked.
Yeah.
A metal rectangle on the floor in front of the safe. A strange circular indentation on top of the safe. And 3 small lights on the door at the top, all of which are currently off.
Fucking what?
And then the small safe
I need
Has-
a visual so bad.
has 3 the small safe has 3 distinct keyholes stacked vertically, but no handle. The keyholes are colored differently as follows: bronze,
Bronze,
silver,
and
gold.
gold. And we found the bronze and silver keys.
and I think that would be a pretty good time. I'm not going to post this to you because I'll be explaining it to you next time anyway, but you can have a little think.
Yeah.
But a wonderful time for us to end, having got quite far into whatever the hell this building was called. The O2 Holding and Confiscation Office.
Burrito.
Nito Burrito.
Okay, that's good.
All this for a dang book.
Well, actually, it's all this to get access to some sort of dark market, which could be quite good, actually.
It's the dark
Might
mark.
not exist.
Yes, I have to be honest, I'm not 100% happy.
But for now,
Right. Escape.
we leave. Left into the night with no creepy goings on in the background that your characters would have no idea about. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Magic Myths and Mayhem. Thank you to Dark Fantasy Studio and Nicolas Jeudy and Ovani for the use of their music in this episode. And a big thanks to you for listening. If you want to hear more behind the scenes content, alongside extra art and lore, please consider joining our Patreon by searching Magic Myths and Mayhem on patreon.com, or watch our extra content and games on twitch.com. For now, thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you next time. I'll see you then. Big yawns.
Where?
I said big yawns.
Big yawn.
Yawn. Sorry, yarn. I have to say it like I'm talking about the things you knit with. Yarn.
Yawn.
Yarn. Yawn.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's how I said. I said yawn. I said big yawns.
You see now you're dipping into the yarn.
No, I'm not saying an R. Yawn. Not yawn. Yawn.
But it was dipping into the yar.
Not particularly. I'm saying it like a AW. You say oh. Yawn. Yarn.
Yarn. Okay,
Yarn.
bye.
Yar.
Yar mateys.